Okay, so here we are with our brochure. We're going to add in, let's just start with this, let's do the back panel. So we'll bring in the Facebook logo and find us on Facebook here. So to bring in that Facebook logo, I mean, you just need to go online to find Facebook logo. And then you go to images, try and find one that, if you want it to be square or a circle, but you can always this one's actually a pretty decent size. You could go even bigger than that. What's this one? This one's 800 by 800. That's not bad, especially if you're using it at a smaller size. So if we do a control save image as, you can just save this to your, your images folder. If you find a PNG with a transparent background, that's great. Sometimes you might want to circle one. It's just kind of up to you how you want to do it. You can also bring these in. So if let's say I want to bring this one in, I just save. Oops, sorry. So save image as. Maybe I'll just put this in my documents. Images folder here. So it's a PNG image. Save that. You can also bring these into, file new, into a document. I mean, it doesn't matter what size it is. Just make sure it's set to like 300, and then 300 ppi, and then do a file place. And then navigate back to that images folder that we were just in. Here's this Facebook logo I just found. Do a file place that in, and then you can, if you're in Essentials Classic, and make sure you have it selected, you can do image trace and then expand. If we move it with the black arrow tool, it has a white background, but we can use the white arrow tool and click on that and just push delete. And, maybe I want the white in the middle. So I'll just click and drag and make sure that these are, I think they're already grouped, which is good. So we'll just do a Command C, and we can actually bring that directly onto our InDesign brochure. And then you can also use this white arrow tool to grab different portions of it. Say I want to change this to, white or the blue color of the logo. You can do that. So, and in your links panel, it won't be showing up in here because you copy and pasted it, a vector straight out of Illustrator. So it's not going to show up in your links panel if you do it this way. But you don't have to worry about resolution when you have a vector image, which is kind of nice. So on this I actually used a JPEG file for this one. But there's a couple of different ways to do everything in here. So and then I'll just say find us on Facebook, create that little text box, find us on Facebook. And then I'll change the fonts to match my Montserrat, probably semi-bold or bold. So I made that Montserrat semi-bold. If we come up over here and click on this, let's use the white arrow tool to get this blue shape specifically. I can actually do a control or right click on this if you're on a PC, but control click on a Mac and then add to swatches. So that colors now my swatches. If I highlight this again, this text, I can go to my swatches panel and bring in that same blue, which actually I have other colors here as well. So there we go. There's our find us on Facebook. So we kind of want to center this in between the fold lines. It's kind of hard to tell because I can't see that yellow line the whole time. So if I push W and actually go to this ruler on the side and click and drag out a guide, I can actually drag a guide where the fold line is going to be from the template. We can kind of see the yellow lines from the template, but these blue lines show up pretty well. And I can see, there's this much space on this side and there's this much space on this side. So if I kind of, try to center this text in the middle of this circle, kind of. Push shift so I can get both of them selected, and then just maybe tab it over just a couple. That is pretty much centered on that back panel now. So if I push W, so those guides help, you know, to do that. Okay, so what we're going to do is we're going to find our file with our text in it, and we're going to start importing all the body text for the brochure. Okay, the first step would be to open up the document of brochure text, which I have here, but you would actually go into week 10 of the Graphic Design 2 content area, and actually no, week 9, sorry, and brochure text is right here. So you would actually download this, and I would save it into your documents folder along with, you know, in your documents folder where your project is saved. So I would put it in here. See, like I have my brochure text, it's a PDF. This is also a PDF that I gave you. I didn't label it, but so you'll have to download yours. I'm going to use different text than you. You would have to do the same for the images for your, and put those in your document folder within your documents folder, your folder within your documents, sorry. So let's go here. So if I do a file, or let's go here, and then let's just open up this brochure text. So this is my Havre Trails text. So if I, you know, click and drag down, or just do a Command A to select all, and then a Command C, we can go into InDesign now, because we were just in Acrobat, which is a PDF reader. If it doesn't open in Acrobat for you, go to your brochure text document, or yours is going to be untitled, and just do a control click and open with an Adobe Acrobat. And then again, Command A, Command C to copy, go in here, and then let's go to page 2, just because it's blank and it's a nice space for us to work in. Go to your text tool, click and drag, and Command V to paste. So this text box here actually does contain all of that text. So if we click here on this little red box, you can kind of get this weird little extra thing, and you click and you drag, and it'll link your two boxes of text up. So if I make this smaller, it'll actually run into this box, which is actually really handy. If you have too much text, it'll give you this red plus here. So you'll have to make the box taller to accommodate your text. And part of the problem with, not the problem, but part of the challenge of working with large chunks of text is just organizing it. So the About section should probably be first. You know, it's up to you on how you will organize your text, but it does matter how you end up organizing it. So here I put About, Get Involved, because this is the second page that you'll see when you open the front panel. And then you open it up to this one big spread, basically. If I push W, you can see where I have the guides, where the fold lines are. And then I put events here, trails here, and that's basically it. So we're gonna do that now. So we're gonna put the About and Get Involved section on another page. So I'm just gonna highlight this text and push Command X to cut it, and then I can grab the text tool and navigate to the first page, and click and drag and push Command V. So I have that, you know, filling in this text box. We want to make sure that we have nice amounts of space around our text box, because if we don't, if we end up dragging this past the safe line, this pink safe line, that's going to be way too close to the edge of the actual brochure. And also if you drag it here to where it's getting really close to the fold line, it just is not going to be good. So it's good to leave some nice amounts of space there. And then, you know, maybe enter in here Um, okay, so that's looking pretty good. I might actually even make this a little bit more narrow since I have the space. My husband's being loud. So let's click and drag this and put Montserrat. And I'm just gonna do like a regular, like if they have one, regular. Actually, what did I use? Because that is not what I used. Oh, I used Helvetica in here. All right. I'm just going to use regular, actually. As you can see, my text got quite a bit bigger with this other type of font. So I'll have to expand my text box. And I'm going to look at this and see what size this is at. So I'm at 12. 12 points is actually really large for body text. We could actually probably easily bring this down to 10. And then let's go to the paragraph section in the properties panel. And, oops, what did I just do? I accidentally did this. Okay, so we want to go into the paragraph section, and we want to go to this little hyphenate box and click that so our text is not hyphenated. And then we're going to make this blackjack. And I'm just going to highlight it and type in blackjack. And I'm going to make it bigger. Maybe like 19 or something. And then if I have my text box selected with my arrow tool and go to the eyedropper tool, we can click on about. Oops. Why does this never work when I go to do it? Well, let's just click on this and see if this works. Yeah, so highlight the text and then get the eyedropper and then sample from the text that you want to apply. Oops. So there's that. I actually did end up putting in quite a bit more space leading. So here's the leading. There's also leading up here. Somewhere here maybe. But I'm starting to get used to using it over here. Or maybe that wasn't leading up there, but anyway, so this is, I kind of like to have a decent amount of leading. It just looks nice. So we'll just make this 16 on both. And you can use the little arrows to kind of dial it in. Yeah, and I'll make this a little bit bigger, maybe 25 or something. It's nice to have kind of some space in between each of these sections. And this is even a little close, like we can add, maybe make this like 20 and make this like 20. So overall, in between in the body text, it's 16. This line underneath the headline, basically, or whatever you want to call this, this is 20. And then this I set to 25. Plus I have a return in there. So that's looking pretty good. I mean, I can center this a little bit better so that the space matches this space a little bit better. And then one other thing we can do with the body text that does help to dial it in even more is to actually use this box here. I believe it's a right justify. Sometimes this works justify with left align, with last box left aligned. Sometimes this looks better. It's kind of up to you to decide what you like. I tend to like to do this because it kind of makes it look more, I don't know, straight here and straight here, and I kind of like the way that looks. I think it's kind of clean looking. So that's looking pretty good. I will work with the rest of the text in the next video.